So today I'm going to show you how to use this custom calculator that I have created to determine the maximum price of the property that you can purchase based on the cash you have available. Number two, the mandatory minimum down payment that you must pay based on the price of the property. And number three, whether or not you can actually pass the stress test based on the price of the property. Hi, my name is Vonley Ellis from www.letscallmyagent.com, where your support and referrals help feed the hungry in our community. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. So step number one is to enter the total cash you have available. So let's say you actually have $60,000, and that's the total cash you have, including your down payment and your closing costs. And this is the money that you're going to use to purchase the property. You would actually enter that $60,000 here. Once you enter the $60,000, it would actually tell you that based on the $60,000, you can afford a property of, you can purchase a property of $762.50. Okay, it doesn't take anything else into consideration. It only considers the total cash that you have entered. Nothing else is considered. Step number two is to enter this price into the purchase price of your dream home column. Let's enter the $706,250, and now it automatically calculates what your mandatory minimum down payment must be to purchase this particular property here based on the new mortgage rules. So it says that your mandatory minimum is now $45,625. It calculates your closing costs. So this is the total closing cost that you're going to have to come up with. It calculates your down payment and closing costs here. And it also calculates the income required to pass the stress test. So in other words, to purchase this property for $706,250, you must be earning an income of $174,796 in order to pass the stress test at the stress test rate of 5.34%. Okay? Another thing of importance is the mortgage insurance. Because you're now putting the mandatory minimum down, you're now paying the maximum mortgage default insurance of $26,425. Okay? If you have additional cash available and you'd like to reduce or eliminate this number, then it means that you have to put more than the 6.46% down. So let's say you want to put 10% down. You can put the 10% in here, enter that. It will now do an alternate calculation to show you how much the income required is going to be reduced by based on the fact that you've now put more down. It also shows you how much your mortgage default insurance has reduced by based on the fact that you're putting more down. And it also shows you what your new total down payment and closing cost is, and so on and so forth. If you wanted to eliminate the mortgage insurance, then you would actually have to put 20% down, and now the mortgage insurance is eliminated. If you notice that we actually have a mortgage broker's column fee in here, this can be turned on and off based on your current situation. And then you might say, okay, why would I need to pay a mortgage broker? Well, if your income, so let's say you wanted to purchase this property for $706,000, but you cannot pass the stress test, it means that you're going to have to now use an alternate lender to fund this particular deal. You have to use a credit union or a private lender. You would not be able to walk into a major bank and borrow this particular amount based on the fact that you have now failed the stress test. And in that case, you may need the services of a mortgage broker. And if you need the service of a mortgage broker, then you're going to have to pay the mortgage broker's fee. And this estimates the mortgage broker's fee based on current industry standards. Let's say you have more than 20% down. You can actually put it here. So let's say 30%. You can enter it there, and then you see how the calculation changes. Of course, the more you put down, the less income required. The more you put down, the income required will keep going down. So they're inversely proportional to each other. So the more you put down, the less income you have to be earning to qualify for the same property here. Of course, you can go up to a maximum of 50% down. And it will tell you that, okay, if you put 50% down, you have $390. So let's say you've actually sold a property. you have $396,000 available, you can actually put 50% down, and then it would bring the income down to $91,269. Okay? All right, so pretty much this calculator, though, I have to let you know, assumes that you have no debt. So you have no student loan, you have no credit card payments, you have no credit card debt, you have no line of credit debt, and so on and so forth. It assumes that you have zero debt. Okay? That's the major assumption. If you have debt, if you have student loan, and you have a line of credit payments and so on and so forth, then there's another completely different tool that we use, which is a lot more complicated than this particular tool here, where we consider how much student loan you have, how much your student loan payment is. We consider how much your credit card payment is, and so on and so forth, in order to determine whether or not you can actually pass the stress test, or in order to determine how much home you can actually purchase based on the cash that you have available. Okay? All right, so pretty much this is a calculator that you can actually use to stress test yourself, to play around with different numbers, and so on and so forth. I'm giving you this calculator absolutely free. You can actually download a copy of this particular calculator absolutely free. I'm going to put a link below this video where you can actually click and download this calculator. All right, so thank you so much for joining me. I hope you actually got value from this particular tool. If you know anyone who can actually benefit from this tool, please go ahead and share the tool with them. And take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.